What's up, guys? I got something special for you today. We're about to get out on this water and let you meet one of our really good friends, and we're about to have a lot of conversations about a lot of different things. And I'll be honest with you, I had wrote a list out. We're just going to kind of just hang out and talk to each other about, you know, certain things and see how it goes. So I'm ready, he's ready. Let's get on the road and let's go. So I got a cool story to tell you. This road that we're on right now going to the lake to put in, this is where my journey started on me at my 75 hard path, and really starting to push myself and really find myself deeper and deeper, the person that I didn't even know was there. And this is also where one day I kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally something told me to go running, and I turned the corner on this road right here, and Kyle's sitting right there at the stop sign waiting on me, and we reunited then, and the rest is history. So just a little fun fact before we get to the water. We're almost there, and I'm excited. If we do this motherfucker next year, I want to do like all white and just like black fucking writing on every, like all the logos, everything just white and black, and it, like maybe a hint of gray or something. Mark Daniels Jr.'s been doing. Well, then we can't copy.
He said, well, we can't do that, man.
All white.
No, we gotta do something different.
It looks freaking good though.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna figure it out. They get on that machine, like, and they put between their legs and they're pushing, and I'm like, I don't ever use that muscle. They can have that thing. Like, they can have it. So we're here finally. And I'm sitting here with my Duckett rods because I will always be loyal to Duckett. You have my heart always. Anyways, but guys, I have two special guests today. I have the Kyle Welcher and his lovely wife, Hunter. She's always behind the scenes, so if you watch his videos, she's the one that's doing all the editing, all the filming. She's the one that's really putting in the work. Just saying, you know, the creator side of me. But anyways, we're about to jump on this boat, and we're about to have us a great day. Let's roll, baby. Really? No, dog. These things are more sentimental to me. Shit.
You say wood for sentimental.
Well, you're right. I'm a little greedy though. I'm back, and that's the stash and the mullet. I was 100% sure in life that the mullet would never come back.
This thing is dead. I would agree.
Yeah. Like I can't see, like when I look at the picture of somebody, I'm like, I cannot look in the mirror and say, all right guys, little thin on the side, high on the top. No, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it, bro.
Well, that one kind of makes sense though, because you got like, whenever you see a mullet, it's like super redneck, right? Like, yeah, for sure. 100%. But then some of them country music stars that were actually like decent looking and like actually made it kind of mainstream, they were wearing it, and then they kind of blew it up.
It makes sense.
There's a backstory to the stash for me. Okay. My dad has had a mustache literally my entire life. I've only seen him like one time without a mustache since I was like one, you know, can remember.
Yeah. So
me and my two little brothers are doing mustaches for Father's Day.
That is awesome.
that is not the backstory.
Well, that's the only reason I still have it.
So am I bouncing? What am I doing?
Yeah, I mean, you really can't do it wrong. It just kind of looks like you got to envision that bait in particular. Looks like a bluegill just kind of swimming through the grass.
Gotcha.
So you really can't fish it wrong unless you just fish it too fast, which you ain't gonna do that. I have people all the time like, this is, like I fish about this close all the time. And I have people tell me that I get too close and all that crap, but I don't think they care.
So I recall, tell me if I'm wrong, but when you caught that, was it a 10 pounder or 11 pounder?
10. That
10, you were fairly close, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was probably like from here to there from it.
Do you have like a certain way you prepare week of preparation, like not just with your rods and all, but I mean like in the mindset? Like do you try to turn on a different like mindset, or what do you go through mentally to prep for what we would call it, game week?
Yeah, elite week.
Yeah, elite week.
So I do, but it doesn't start like a week early. It starts like there's certain regions of the country where you got to have certain types of baits, all that type of stuff, and it's like a lot of it's as soon as you see the schedule come out, you go ahead and start ordering stuff, because if you wait until 2 weeks before, it might be sold out, whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's literally kind of an all-year process, making sure you've got all the equipment you need, all the baits you need. And I've got some really good sponsors, but that doesn't mean they make the very best bait on every single lake all over the country. So we have to use some other brands and all that type of stuff. So getting all that stuff organized and getting that ready. But whenever it comes to like the week before, I still do that. It's just depending on kind of how I expect that tournament to go. It's going to be like, if I know I'm going to be fishing shallow, I'm going to look at a lot of like Google Earth aerial images where I can see like where has grass, where has different types of water. You can tell by some of these lakes, like if some of these creeks are muddy, you know they have water coming in the back of them because they won't get muddy without it. So just learning that type of stuff, if you're going to be fishing shallow, is a big deal. But then on like a deep water lake, you're just trying to go over the lake and use more of a detailed underwater mapping, and then look at that because you're going to be fishing underwater spots that are way offshore. So it kind of depends on the lake. If I've been there 3 or 4 times, obviously I don't do quite as much research, but if it's my first time, yeah, I spend quite a bit of time getting mentally prepared, understanding kind of where I want to be, how I want to break the lake down in practice. That's one of the biggest things is a lot of these lakes, like we go to Lake Champlain, is 300,000 acres.
Holy, like 300,000 acres?
Lake West Point's 28,000 acres.
Holy cow.
So it's like 11 times or 12 times bigger than West Point. The muscle memory that we want to get working on is like logical decision making. Golf or baseball or football, where your routine is your routine because you're using the same muscles all the time. It's like, it varies constantly, and that's what makes fishing such an interesting sport, is like the mental side of it varies so much depending on where you go in the country and what lake you're on. That's kind of what makes the sport interesting. So, you know,
well, it's like different. Well, I view it as like, you know, Kobe or a basketball player, they're always perfecting that shot, that one movement. It's
muscle memory.
Muscle memory, but with you guys, it's not that way because the scenery, everything's always changing. When you go out on the water and you're right here, like, kind of explain the mentality that you have to put yourself in, the focus point, I guess was what I would say. Like, how focused are you the whole time when you're prepping? You know, or do you do the same thing at all times to make sure it's muscle memory? Do you stay locked in all the time the way you fish a tournament?
So, you know, all these other factors that whenever you're around a big competition, you're just gonna have that extra gear, you know? So, like whenever I'm at home and fishing some smaller tournaments, it's not the same. I don't, you know, have the same intensity level, but I still do want to win really bad. I still take it extremely seriously. It's just, you know, whenever you're around those big tournaments, that's make or break time, right? You know, so that's whenever I try to absolutely turn it on, and I'm out there. Like if we're allowed to practice for 16 hours a day, I'm gonna be out there 16 hours a day, right? You know, like if I'm around here, I ain't doing that. That ain't gonna happen. Yeah. Not fishing for small tournaments.
Well, the reason I was asking that because sometimes a lot of the guys, the mentors preach, you know, you play like you practice, or you really have to get, you know, stay in that mindset. So, but I couldn't. Ain't no athlete in America locking in for 16 hours, bro.
It's hard. Yeah.
There's no way. Like, if you look at the ones that's making hundreds of millions of dollars, they're locked in for 4 quarters. But how long is for real? They're having to lock in 3 hours. Yeah. And so I feel that. Tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like to me that you have to have that same intensity and drive that they have because you're elite at what you do.
Our competition days are 8 hours, bare minimum. Like they're going to be at least 8 hours.
Wow.
So, I mean, that is a long time to keep the intensity, keep the focus, and that's why. And I'm sure, you know, other professional athletes have a very similar experience. But after a tournament, I have a massive crash.
Oh, I bet.
You know, like it's massive. The adrenaline's gone. I've been like running around hard for 7 days in a row. You know, 12 to 16 hours on the water. I sleep for a couple days.
I bet. Well, what's crazy, and when we're hammered down, and I have like talking about with me growing the business and trying to build all this from scratch. Man, when I have like these epiphanies and these visions, and my mind's going bam, 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 bam. And I'm like putting this all together, I'm writing it down, and I got everything going on at the shop. I'm trying to keep everybody busy at the same time, trying to get back to clients. And like, dude, the next day I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, it's like I didn't feel like I did anything, but damn, like if I look back on my notes, I'm like, holy shit, like you got a lot accomplished. And I think when you're elite at what you do, I think we both have, and all elites have in common, is we're able to lock in. And when we lock in, it not just physical but mental, bro, we are 110% at all times.
Yeah. That's what separates, you know, even the best fishermen, like from really, really great fishermen, but there's still a couple of people that are a step above.
Yeah.
I genuinely think it's the focus level.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not like they have better equipment, better knowledge, anything. They pick up on information, they process information faster,
Yep.
and then they focus for the whole time.
So when I sent you the book Winning, I reminded myself that I needed to go back to it and go back to the audio book and start back into it, because he keys in on situations like that where elites, you know, get the mindset of being able to turn on at that level and what it takes to get to that level. And dude, it's like you really need to audiobook that thing for real, man. You'll realize that you're not that much different than the Jordans, than the Kobes, and all that in your profession. Because all the things that you hear that they were doing, and that where they were at in the mindset, you say, holy shit! Like, I think of the same thing, or I do the same thing, and it's really good. I don't even want to give it away. I want you to read it. I'm being honest. Like, I want to like tell you, but then it's like I want you to truly read it, man, or listen to it. So, like, dead serious. When I first met you, like, it's just something you had that it factor then. Like, you had that same thing that a lot of people told me when I was growing up. They would always say, man, you're just different. And so the first time we did your boat, man, I'm not even gonna lie. When you first told me you wanted to put your YouTube down the side and you wanted to put your name down the side of this thing, I was like, are you sure? And you was like dead set on this shit. I was like, oh my God, like, that is like the best branding you could ever think of as a personal brand. Did you like? What did people say when you went places? Like, did they say anything about you having, like, did people make fun, like pick around with you, or what did you notice how the fans and how your competitors, how did they view it?
So one thing I learned a long time ago is hate never comes from above. It always comes from below. And that was my rookie year. I never had a single other elite angler say one thing negative about it. If anything, they said that's exactly what I would have did. Nobody's buying that spot.
Yeah.
Give it to yourself. And I mean, we had a ton of people that would just pull up to us on the road and say, I just subscribed to you. They're pulling at the gas station. They see my name down the side of the boat. They'd say, I just looked up your YouTube. I mean, we got that all the time, even on the lake or whatever. So, I mean, it worked. YouTube channel had a big spike our first year, probably the biggest spike it's had since I joined the elites. And I definitely think that the boat wrap had at least something to do with it, you know? But I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer. If nobody's buying the spot, invest in yourself.
Well, you know what's crazy about it to me is when we also started on it, I did this like bad design. Like it to me it looked good, and then you was like, it's a little too much for me. And then I was like, all right, where do we need to go next? And then you called me and you was like, I just want a flat black wrap. And I'm like, what? And you sure about that? And just so you know, guys, Kyle was on that simplicity wrap before anybody. A lot of them have that simple wrap. Kyle Welcher started it. We started it flat black with just lettering on the side of that thing.
Same thing. Like going into my second year, she was like, everybody here has a freaking black boat wrap.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not saying that they did it because of me, but they definitely was more of them.
Well, I've always been able to stay in front of trends, definitely in the motorsports industry. But I always had the mindset of when I come out with a lot of Vector cars and I saw a lot of them start following Vector, I had to go in the mindset of like, all right, well now we need to try to change it up and go to more of a straight line look. So, well, I used to go to like Oakley like look at their clothing, Alpine Star, and I would get inspiration from apparel. I'd see a certain line work on a shirt, and I was like, man, that's badass. How can I incorporate that on a race car? And when I did, a lot of times it turned out badass. And then in like 2015, well, it might have been before that, we did one simple wrap, and dude, it blew up. And everybody was like, oh my God, that thing looks amazing. And it was like 3 colors. It was black, white, and neon orange. Nothing else. Yeah. And I think that next year, I really think that we're gonna have something unique. Like, I want to change the game again, bro. Like, I've got some ideas, but we got to get back to the branding. We got to figure out colors for the brand. Most of all, we got to figure out a name for the brand.
That's the key to the world in the lake this time of year. This is called a mayfly. They're like a little snack for everything around here. I mean, like when these are out, you'll see birds flying in the trees. You'll see eagles way up in the trees eating the little birds. We see that all the time where eagles are trying to get little birds. And you've got bluegill eating these, bass eating the bluegill, bass eating these. Everything eats these little suckers. They're completely harmless, and they're just a little snack for everything on the lake right now. But that's what time it is. They're called mayflies. They're out all through June, July, August, May, late May. That's kind of the key to the castle in the lake this time of year.
Oh, you're a Jeezy fan.
I was Thug Motivation for life. So
oh man.
He took my man's chain. He took my man's chain. I'm like, nah, bro, I ain't listening to none of your music. And
Dang.
I didn't listen to none of it. Like when Lemonade come out, I was like, oh, that's fire. Next.
We need to bookmark this right now. He might be the first man ever with a fishing rod flipping a jig to say he's Thug Motivation for life.
Yes.
Maybe the first ever.
I don't know. Y'all tell me. Is there more Jeezy fans out there, or am I the only one out there? You wasn't on that Jeezy back then?
I think they about even, to be honest. I think Gucci and Jeezy are about even.
I do too. And that's why the verses was hard.
Oh, you watched the verses?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
See, that gave me motivation because Gucci tried to come out there.
And this is his
like,
homie?
All fresh, trying to be like super thugged out or be fresh. And like Jeezy walked out there with like a jacket on and a jersey, like a throwback 2006 snowman jersey. And I was like, every time that Gucci would go after him, Jeezy was just so present and calm.
Professional, very professional, yeah.
And you could tell like he was so far ahead, like mentally he was killing Gucci.
Gucci, yeah, he was.
Because he's in that different space of life. Like he's truly more of an entrepreneur now. Back here in my territory, we're gonna see if Kyle can catch one of my fish. Since this is my territory, maybe, hopefully, we'll see.
We fished the whole rest of the lake and didn't catch any, so had to come back in here, the only place we hadn't been.
Right. So what's the craziest catch that you've ever had? Like, what happened? How'd you get it?
My rookie year on the Elite, on Lake Eufaula, I caught a 6-pounder in practice for the tournament. Like 3 days before the tournament, I caught a 6-pounder. And I went back in the tournament and caught the exact same fish about 20 feet away from where I caught it in practice.
Wow.
I caught the literal same exact fish. Like you could tell 100%. I had both the catches on video.
So that's very uncommon in fishing?
It is. For me, I don't remember. Even if you do catch the same fish, they look so similar.
Right.
But this one had like some very distinguishing markings. So, yeah, I feel like it's rare. I mean, like if the fish is on bed or something, you can catch the same fish twice. But that, I felt like it's pretty rare. That's the only time I can for sure remember catching the same fish twice that was not spawning.
So have you ever got hung up and caught a fish after being hung up on anything?
Yeah, especially like if you're fishing around smallmouth or spotted bass and you're fishing around a lot of rock and you get like hung on top of the rock. Yeah. You can catch a smallmouth or a spot. They'll eat it off the rock while you're trying to take it loose.
Oh wow.
That's actually, you know, not that rare, but largemouth don't do it that often.
So one of the coolest things that I've ever seen is somebody catch a fish and then that fish trying to get ate by a bigger fish while you're reeling it in. Has that ever happened to you?
It never happened to me. I did on Lake Forest last year. Me and Hunter did go get a bass that had tried to eat a bass and they had floated to the surface. So like it was a 1.5-pound bass with a 1-pound bass in his mouth. It done got lodged in there.
Oh wow.
So we took them apart and they both swam off. Did you get one?
Well, I don't know. It was a bump, but I don't know if that was a bump or it was a log.
Florida or California, whenever they were reeling in that fish,
I had my earbuds in, so I can't hear nothing. And I'm running across the bridge, and I just kind of feel like a whiff on my leg, just a whiff. And I looked down, and that dog was trying to attack my leg, and I had no idea. And I turned around, and my gut instinct was to look at him and like just scream like I was about to attack him. And when I did that, he kind of he went back like he didn't know what to do, and I launched at him again. And he took off running, and I was like, yeah, you better not be back here again when I come back through. So look, I went back to Idle. I got down to Idle, and I called Kayla. I said, hey, Kayla.
come pick me up.
Come pick me up.
Got it. I'm filming.
Gotta go get him. He's tangled up.
Oh, that's crazy. I pressed the record button at the right time. Holy shit. You caught one on video.
That's a good. Look at that. I feed them well over here. I feed them well. Literally, guys, my house is right up here. Like my house
you
is
said you
like
wanted to
through
catch
the woods
one.
right here. Look, where the magic happens.
Right, and Chris,
that's a nice one too. That's a good one.
Chris,
we gotta
that's
get a picture
crazy
of
that
that.
you said it was by. You said by. It's crazy it happened by your house. We just went all over the lake.
All right, Hunter, here you go. Get us a picture.
My bad. I'm just trying to get a little closer. Yeah. That's the thumbnail right there, Chris. Yeah.
What do you think? 2.5?
At least, yeah. So, all this salt, he's got some sandpaper teeth right there. You put your thumb past it and then hold him tight, but you got to hold him pretty tighter because he's gonna flop a little.
Right here.
Yep, and press down. Got to press down pretty hard though. You ain't gonna hurt him.
Oh,
He's gonna flop.
Oh my God! Oh shit! This is so weird. Oh my God! No! What the fuck?
All right, hold it up for the camera. You gotta smile.
Oh, it's my first time. My heart beats so fast.
You gonna get him?
Yeah. That was so nasty.
Nasty.
I'm an introvert. I be in the house.
So
man.
I see a little belly on there. Is
Jesus
that a male,
Christ.
female?
It's hard to tell this time of year
Yeah.
because they're done spawning, so they're all gonna be pretty fat.
Yeah.
Probably a female if I had to guess.
Okay.
Just by the bone structure. Probably.
So good. That means
you
we
gonna
got.
get a cinematic release on it? Want to turn it back?
Holy moly, ravioli.
That's a pretty good one.
Oh, that was clean.
Got to take Chris' strength out. Me and him have actually worked together on a couple projects before, working on another project now. But, you know, it's whenever you're always doing stuff, and there's a lot of moving pieces to like something like being a professional fisherman. There's just a ton of moving pieces. So you see people, you talk to people a lot, but you don't really get to see them like in your element. You don't get to be out here like with me. And this is what I do like every single day, and he doesn't get to see this side of him. He just gets to see the side where we're talking, going over stuff. So it was fun to be out here, just kind of like get back to the roots of fishing and, you know, experience that. And he doesn't fish a ton, so he still, you know, is kind of getting that little fire for fishing and stuff like that. But this is what I do every day, so it's fun to get out here and kind of experience that together and have a good time on the lake, close to the house.
Well, one of the biggest things was me. Well, I didn't even want to come out here and talk fishing, bro. I enjoy. I'm at in that space of life where the knowledge, it's all about knowledge, man, and it's all about what that one sentence, that one little thing that you do while you're in the moment. You talked about under pressure, you're stone cold, and in that moment, you're locked in, and I think that's one thing that we can relate to, and how like we're able to, you know, communicate and be friends, because some of the shit that, bro, you already know, some of the shit that we say to each other, there's no way we're gonna tell that to the public. Like, they might think we're crazy.
Yep.
But things like that, I always like picking people's brains and learning, you know, what the elites do, and not, you know, pun intended, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, man, I had a great time today. Like, who would have thought that we would have caught the only fish of the day right by my house where I fish all the time? Wow.
Yep,
Wow. Anyways, man, I appreciate you coming out, man.
Absolutely.
Like, always. And the future's bright for both of us. Guys, we're going to put something together that Kyle cannot figure out. He cannot figure out.
I'm indecisive.
He's so indecisive. We want to build his brand so bad, but we don't know what to do. And look, we're going to put it on you guys. Like, we're going to connect with him and his channel, and we're going to put out a survey, and we're going to try to figure out a way to have your input on his brand, because he wants to do it for you guys. He's wanting to push the apparel. He's wanting to do all these things for you, but he's so indecisive. So anyways, we're about to go grab us a bite to eat, man. Like I said, I can't thank you enough again, man.
It's
like
fun.
for real.
It's fun.
Always. So I appreciate it.